Lantra is an organisation that works across Scotland, giving people information about all the rewarding careers that are available in the land-based, aquaculture and environmental conservation sector. We promote careers and training in agriculture, aquaculture, animal care, environmental conservation, equine, fisheries management, game and wildlife management, horticulture, land-based engineering and trees and timber. Today, we're going to take a closer look at 3 of these industries and find out how important science is in so many jobs and courses. Let's start with aquaculture. Aquaculture means farming in water. This includes the growing and harvesting of fish like salmon and trout, shellfish production, and aquatic plants such as seaweeds. If you've ever eaten Scottish salmon, it's probably been farmed off the west coast or from the very north of Scotland. Fish are raised from juveniles to adults, with harvesting taking place when they're around 2 years old. There are skilled jobs available in looking after them at every different life stage and making sure they're farmed sustainably. Science is really important to the sector and is part of jobs that include working outdoors with fish on farms or working in labs, making sure the fish are being fed the right diet, which helps their growth and development. You could also work with the vet team or carry out environmental monitoring, making sure the fish and their surroundings are healthy. Let's hear from Lisa.
We're very privileged to not only just have a job, but a career in aquaculture right here. This is a job that we do every day of the week, including the weekends. This is just to make sure that the fish are getting the care that they need and they're being looked after, that they've got nice clean water, they're getting fed properly, and their fins aren't going to come to any damage. In this tank we've got about 60,000 first feeders. They're just approaching about the 3 gram mark now. I like this part because you can see the fish grow, and I think they create personalities as they grow older. You don't need any previous knowledge when you start off because all the training is given to you on a day-to-day basis from your colleagues and external training. So you learn about the technology as you go along. You don't necessarily need to know about it before you start.
To get started in aquaculture, many people go to university and study marine biology, aquaculture or environmental science. Some do a degree, then go straight into work, while others stay on to complete a master's or PhD and research new ways to help with production methods. But you don't need to go to university to work in aquaculture. Apprenticeships are available across the sector in areas like fish farming and engineering, and you can train on the job, earning while you learn. The next industry we're going to look at is horticulture. Plants serve a huge number of roles in everyday life, from the fruit and vegetables we eat, the trees that make our parks and streets more pleasant, the turf we play sports on, through to flowers that brighten up our gardens and homes. Horticulture is the commercial cultivation of plants for all these uses. This opens up a huge range of potentially rewarding career paths, working with the latest technologies, developing new species and coming up with innovative methods of growing. Horticultural scientists make a difference by developing new food crops and technologies which will help to feed an ever-growing population and aid their well-being. Let's hear from Fanula to find out more.
Over here we've got some raspberries which have been put into rock wool, so that's just for them to establish their rooting, which can be quite tricky to do, and then the rock wool has been transferred over to the hydroponic system. So hydroponics basically means you're using water and fertiliser as your kind of growing medium instead of maybe your typical soil in the ground or something out of a compost bag. Hydroponics can be incredibly useful for creating that consistency that other areas might lack, and also you can create your climate around your hydroponic system so you can make sure your heating's very precise, whereas outdoors that's just not possible.
There are many different routes into a career in horticulture, with qualifications ranging from short practical courses and modern apprenticeships to PhDs, specialising in areas such as plant breeding and genetics. Scientific roles will require a relevant degree such as botany, plant biology or plant science. Good problem solving, communication and laboratory skills are important when researching new methods of plant cultivation, but practical experience can be the biggest help when looking for a horticultural career. The last industry we're going to learn more about is fisheries management, which is conserving and managing Scotland's wild fish stocks and their natural habitats. People working in this industry know all about the best ways to keep fish healthy on rivers, streams and in other areas of water, making them available for anglers to catch each year. They aim to allow the harvest of fish without destabilising the delicate water ecosystem, ensuring the availability of fresh caught fish to future generations. Fish biologists monitor the health of our fish populations and their habitats, then come up with plans to protect and conserve these natural resources. They examine individual fish, look for trends, find out about the stocks there are and how they are being affected by the environment. Naomi is an Assistant Fisheries Officer with a Scottish River Trust.
With the Trust, I have another huge variety of tasks depending on the time of the year. I was involved with the smolt tracking, which runs in the earlier part of the year when the young fish are moving from the upper catchment down out to sea. We catch the smolts there in traps that we have in a couple of locations down the river and the tributaries. We process them every day and then we release them to get a figure of the populations and to tag them to see where they're going out when they leave and how far down the river they get. I'm also involved with electrofishing, which is happening around August, September. We do surveys all over the catchment where we will electrofish to establish the fry and the par populations, again to gauge the distribution and population of the fish species.
As with a lot of conservation roles, a great way into fisheries management is through volunteering with a fisheries board or trust. This gives you an understanding of the tasks and roles involved with monitoring fish stocks. Seasonal employees helping out at busier times can often go on to find permanent work with an organisation. You need to have the technical knowledge and practical field skills to work in fisheries management, as well as an interest in improving the environment, the ability to analyse and interpret data, and good people skills. Modern apprenticeships in rural skills allow trainees to learn about environmental good practice and build up relevant experience, while higher national qualifications and degrees in countryside management, environmental science, biology and ecology may be needed for more specialised roles. To find out more about any of the jobs or industries we've shown you in this video, have a look at the Lantra Scotland website at www.scotland.lantra.co.uk or email us at scotland@lantra.co.uk.